Peace, family, peace, peace, peace. Okay, so this is one of the things that I often talk about, right? Is the biggest trick that has ever been played was you feeling like somebody is doing this to you, right? Whether, the amount of money you have, whatever it is, your living circumstances, your relationships. The most important thing that you can do in these scenarios is always get the lesson. Okay. One of the things that I noticed that I needed to start doing in my life was taking accountability and responsibility. No, we're not responsible for somebody doing certain things that they do to us. We're not responsible. Like, we can't make somebody do something that they don't clearly want to do. But you are responsible if you stay and stick around. Okay? You are responsible for you doing the same exact thing and hoping and praying and lucking that something new is going to occur. Once I started taking accountability and started saying, well, how could I change me? Even when it was times in relationships, right? How could I change me? Oftentimes I try to change the other person. Honey, that ain't gonna work, okay? But I used to say, how could I change me? Even up into today, what could I do different? Okay? And maybe you don't know right then and there, okay? But if you start saying, what lessons could I get from this? I have a friend, right? And this friend, I told you guys before, she would call me and ask me for advice. Some of the things pertaining to her relationships. And I would tell her exactly what was going on in her life and why she would attract some of the people she would attract. And oftentimes she would say, oh, I don't believe that, right? And I know, because, honey, once upon a time I used to be there, right? Especially when it came to relationships, when somebody would tell me, you attracted these people because, I was insecure. And I would oftentimes say, nah, I don't believe that, because I didn't want to face up. I didn't want to take accountability. You see, it was so easier to say this person is to blame. These people are to blame. My life is turning out like this because of X, Y, and Z. But once I started taking accountability, you don't repeat the same exact lesson. See, that's what you're taking accountability for. And you really realizing that what's your part in it, okay? So you don't attract the same exact thing. And, some people say, well, I don't believe, law of vibration or, the laws of this here universe. I just don't believe in all of that. Whether you believe in all of that or not, it's not going to turn off just because you don't believe in it. It's going to keep on happening because that's the way the universe is. That's the way the universe works. And so no one's asking you to believe in it. But what I am saying is, if your ass wants something different, if you want something better, honey, you're going to do something different. I got sick and tired of getting the same exact results. So I had to tap in and see, why was I getting the results? Okay? And that's what you're going to have to do. Unless, you keep saying, well, things, that's not true, and I don't believe in it, and all this other stuff. You ain't got to believe in it. And you could constantly say it ain't true. But when your life start getting, woo, honey, when you start going through them damn obstacles, and sometimes maybe you just need to grow through it, right? Because, and some of the obstacles that I've been through, I'm grateful for them. Wasn't grateful at the time, but I'm grateful for them, and, I stop stuff in the beginning, especially when it comes to relationships or whatever. I'm very mindful of the red flags, okay? very mindful. It could even be in a conversation. I'm very mindful of red flags, okay? And trust your gut. When your gut is telling you something, don't be like, no, that's not true, or that don't make sense, or whatever it is like that. Remember, we have an intuition. We have an intuition for a reason, okay? It's here for a reason. And with that being said, I love you guys. Peace. Get those lessons.